And we have a few showers on radar, mainly out towards the west, and I'll have the details on your forecast. Also, families visiting their loved ones, victims of theft.
The 4 states' most watched news starts now.
5 a.m. and I'm meteorologist Sam Lane, and Tanya will be joining us a little bit later this morning. And let's take a look right now at the first evening or the morning news. With radar, we can see some scattered showers mainly along I-35 between Oklahoma City and Wichita. Those showers are going to be moving off towards the south and east, really not impacting our area. We're going to maybe see a shower or thunderstorm later today down in Oklahoma, but it's going to be very widely scattered. And if we take a little bit wider view, you can see a storm system across the northern plains helping bring relief to the wildfires in western Canada. We're just going to have a few clouds this afternoon under mostly sunny skies. The allergies are going to be pretty bad today, 9.3, a little bit of an improvement tomorrow, 8.4. Most of that is grasses, hickory, and mulberry pollens. And if we take a look at the forecast for your afternoon, we're expecting partly cloudy skies with a high of around 80 degrees, so it'll be a warm one out there. 76 at lunchtime, 79 at 2 o'clock, and 4 p.m., 77 degrees. And if we take a look down the lane, we're going to see a sunny Tuesday, but then scattered thunderstorms on Wednesday, isolated storms on Thursday. But what about the holiday weekend? Well, I'll have all the details on that coming up in just a little bit. In Buffalo Creek, early Sunday morning, civilians found the body of a woman in her mid-30s in Buffalo Creek near where it enters the Elk River. She was a hostage situation in Delaware County ends with a man dead, apparently from a self-inflicted gunshot wound. Delaware, they got a call around 12:30 Monday morning, gun inside the home of his estranged wife north of Grove in the Red Rocks area. Authorities say the residents in the home had a protective order against the 55-year-old Gary Combs. Oklahoma Highway Patrol arrived to assist in negotiations, and they say they heard a gunshot. Shortly after, 8 authorities used tear gas and an armed vehicle to get inside the home. They say they found Combs dead with a single gunshot wound. Other people in the home did make it out safely. And first responders rush a 19-year-old female driver to an area hospital following a car crash. Authorities they learned a Jeep Patriot was traveling west on Missouri 171, left the highway to the left and crossed all lanes of traffic. The vehicle then went through 2 fences and crashed head-on into a large tree. The 19-year-old female driver was transported priority to an area hospital, and this is a developing story, and we'll have more details as they become available, and of course also on our website, KOAMnewsnow.com. The Garden of Memory Cemetery in Pittsburgh discovered several bronze vases were stolen from headstones over the weekend. But this isn't the first time vases have been stolen, as officials say vases were stolen last year on the 4th of July weekend and again in October. Not only does this affect the cemetery, but the cost to replace the vases is $300, and it's up to the families to replace them. When one family member came to put flowers on a gravestone, she noticed that their vase was missing.
I hope they can look themselves in the mirror every day and feel like they're good people when they're really not. I just feel bad for my Grandpa Frankie, and I got to figure out my finances to be able to buy.
The cemetery owner says sometimes they discount the vases to $260 to help accommodate to the families. A total of 200 vases have been stolen. Some Joplin residents are protesting a sign that they say conflicts with their reality. 2 signs were posted at the intersection of East Zora Street and St. Louis Avenue in Joplin saying there are only 2 genders and take back the rainbow. McKenna Pulsifier organized a protest near the sign to combat what she calls bigotry. The sign owner, Sid Davis, says everyone has a right to their own opinion. He believes he's not hurting anyone by spreading his truth, and he's not planning to change.
At no time have I ever said there was anything wrong with anybody who believes something different. So therefore, there's nothing wrong with me or anybody that agrees with what the Bible says.
And I don't understand why we can't look at each other and see the human in each other despite our differences and love each other for those differences.
Sid Davis is planning to add a crucifix by his sign. McKenna Pulsifier is planning to put on her own sign up saying, "We love you and accept you for who you are." That's a look at this morning's top stories and weather in our first 7 minutes. Coming up on the KOAM Morning News, Webb City and Mack County face off for a baseball district championship. We'll have to see whether Webb City manages to snatch hit for a second year in a row. Plus, pups and pups, an unlikely combination, helps some animals get adopted in southeast Missouri. And knowing CPR for humans is important, but so is knowing pet CPR, and we'll let you know why. You're watching the KOAM Morning News. More real news in the morning. We'll be right back. All right, last night was the championship night for the Class 5 District 7 baseball tournament in southwest Missouri. The Webb City Cardinals met the McDonald County Mustangs in Neosho for the district title. These are the top two seeds in the bracket. The Mustangs are the top seed. The Cardinals are the number 2 seed. Pitchers both great early on. Weston Gordon strikeout in the top of the first for McDonald County. Bottom of the second, Kaylor Darnell on the mound for Webb City ends the inning with a punch out of his own game, and the game is scoreless. Still scoreless in the fourth inning. The Mustangs have a runner on third with 1 out, but check out William Hayes makes the catch and then fires a laser home to catch the runner. Huge play for Webb City, and it keeps it scoreless. Top of the sixth, runners on the corners for Webb City. Kaylor Darnell, beautiful squeeze bunt, no throw. Drew Vonderhaar scores the first run of the night, and that was enough. Walker Sweet finishes it off with a strikeout in the seventh, and Webb City beats McDonald County 2-0. The Cards are back-to-back district champions, and congratulations to the Webb City Cardinals.
I remember last year district champ. It was a lot of fun and something different with something Webb City hasn't done in a while, and having it back-to-back 2 years in a row is just something really great. It feels great to come out on top. I have a great team, bunch of great players to play with, and playing with them just helps. It helps you pitch better, and that's where it's at.
This week is state championship week for high school baseball and softball in Kansas, and we have 9 local teams still alive for the state titles, 5 on the baseball side and 4 on the softball side. The Columbus Titans are one of those 4 local softball teams still in the fight for the state title. They're in the Class 3A state bracket for the first time since 1999, and the Titans faced Rossville in the first round on Thursday. Columbus got here by beating defending state champion Frontenac for a regional title last Wednesday in an extra innings thriller. Here's the team on what makes this team the one to get over the hump and back to state for the first time in over 24 years.
Each year there's different reasons why each group is special. This group just has their excitement and their love for each other in the game is amazing, and so I think that makes it even more special.
Every single one of us, top of the lineup to bottom of the lineup, even the girls that are just sitting, we have all been playing together since we were 8 years old. So just like the fact that we've all grown up together, like that is something so special about our team.
And we have a couple of local softball teams in Missouri competing in the state semifinal games. In Class 2, Mount Vernon hits the field against Fairgrove, aiming to move on to the state championship game. The Mountaineers win big, 13-2. West County AVA in the state championship game this morning. In Class 1, Jasper faced Concordia in the state semifinals. In that one, Jasper falls 10-0, so the Eagles have to turn it around and play for third. And that was right after the semifinal game. Jasper faces Ellington for third place in the Class 1 bracket. The Eagles fall in that one 13-4, so Jasper finishes overall 4th in the Class 1 state tournament. And finally, a little boxing here. Webb City's Theron Couch is still undefeated to begin his professional boxing career. Crouch picked up a first-round knockout over LaMichael Williams Saturday night in Neosho. I ain't going to say easy work, because the last time someone said it didn't work out. Well, and I'm wearing makeup, but it was quick work. 1 minute, 11 seconds. That's how long it took Saturday. Crouch now is 5-0, and you can check out more highlights from Saturday's fight night in Neosho on our Facebook page. Still to come this morning, a deadly fire in Guyana kills at least 19 students, and plus I'll have a check of the 7-day forecast when the KOAM Morning News returns. And welcome back to the KOAM Morning News. I'm meteorologist Sam Lane, and we've had a nice couple of days over the 4-state area, including this morning down in Indigo Sky Casino and Resort just outside of Seneca, Missouri. A beautiful sunrise is expected this morning. Yesterday we made it up to 78 after starting out at 54, which was pretty close to the normals of 79 and 58. Of course, not anywhere near those records of 92 and 41 back in 1963. But we are getting behind on the rainfall for the month so far, as well as for the year, about 4.5 inches behind normal, and unfortunately that's aggravating the drought situation, which is already still exceptional in our western counties, and now the dryness is now starting to spread into western Missouri once again, so we could use some rainfall to help with that. Right now, all the rain is down in northern Texas, associated with the complex across that area. We do have a few scattered showers across northwestern and north central Oklahoma, but those are starting to die out as we head through the morning hours. Temperatures right now are generally pretty nice, in the mid-50s for the most part, with easterly winds. A 60-degree reading right now in Neodesha for one of the warmest readings. Right now in Joplin, it's 54 degrees with a calm wind. Dew point is pretty high at 52. You might see a little bit of patchy fog out there too. The humidity's up there at 93%. The visibility right now is at 7 miles. And this afternoon, we're going to see temperatures rising into the 80s across the region with mostly fair skies, warm conditions. Around lunchtime, 77 degrees, 79 at 2 o'clock. We're going to be under a ridge of high pressure for several days, and this ridge of high pressure is going to stay in control, and it's going to basically keep all the storminess off towards the east and also on the west coast. But as we go into Monday, we might see a few scattered showers and storms for the holiday. We're looking at severe weather today across the Texas Panhandle, so that's not really a big concern in our area. And then tomorrow, again, from eastern Colorado down into western Texas is where the threat of severe weather would be. And then as we go into Thursday, again, from eastern Colorado, eastern New Mexico, and far western Texas. So we really don't have to worry about any severe weather. Rain chances are going to be increasing tomorrow across the area, especially in the afternoon with those scattered showers and thunderstorms. And with those thunderstorms, we're expecting around maybe a tenth or two of precipitation, maybe an isolated half inch or so, especially down in Arkansas, where they might get just a little bit more. Temperatures this afternoon are going to be very nice, in the upper 70s to around 80 degrees, maybe an isolated storm way out towards the west and down in Oklahoma. Then as we go through the overnight hours, we'll see lows in the 50s and 60s across the area. And then tomorrow, there is going to be a wave moving across the area, and that's when we'll start to see the showers and thunderstorms start to move across our area with highs in the upper 70s to around 80. Then as we go into Thursday morning, lows in the 60s. Thursday afternoon, again, isolated storms mainly out towards the west. And then as we go into Friday morning, we're going to see lows in the 60s across the area. Over the next 7 days, here's the next 7-day forecast. 40% chance of storms tomorrow. Thursday, 20%, drier for the weekend. But then, of course, it's Memorial Day weekend, so we have to throw a thunderstorm chance in there for Monday and especially for your Tuesday. Now, as we head towards summer, when you think of hockey, you usually think of pucks, not pups. But an annual fundraiser features animals and slop shots, all for a good cause. Jeffrey Bullard visits the annual Pucks for Paws in southeast Missouri.
Hockey and dogs, both underneath the same roof for the 5th annual Pucks for Paws. It's a roller hockey tournament to help spread love and raise funds for animals in need.
Good boy. What's it?
This is Buster.
Oh, I know. You love it.
And his temporary owner, Jen Farmer. She's the executive director of SEMO Pets.
He came to us about a month and a half ago. In very unfortunate circumstances, he had a gunshot wound to his face right here. It was wide open.
You can see Buster's scar on the side of his face where the bullet hit.
It was, horrifying to think somebody could do that.
Farmer says the shelter is facing more and more cases similar to Buster's.
Something we see maybe twice, 3 times a month, things of, the sort where somebody's thrown out of a car or, a leg broken or, like I said, a gunshot wound. We do see, very severe cases that we take care of, unfortunately.
Those kinds of things they tug at your heartstrings.
Which is why Rob Kearns helps put this event together year after year with Cape Area Hockey.
Huge deal for us. We are going to pass the $20,000 lifetime donation mark, so that is fantastic. And every single dollar that we can donate to Southeast Missouri Pets, it gives another animal in that situation a fighting chance to find a home and at least be in a safe environment of the shelters.
That fight lives on through Buster, though. Right now, he's looking for his next forever family.
His personality is great. He loves everybody. And that's just, he's overcome whatever he had to go through, and he's just a perfect dog.
And in case you're wondering, Southeast Missouri Pets has cats up for adoption as well. And that brings us to our morning question. Have you adopted a pet recently? Yes or no? We'd like to hear from you on KOAMnewsnow.com/vote. And KOAM app, and of course on our Facebook page. We'll be back with Health Watch when we return.
Through May 29th.
Topping Health Watch this morning, it can only take a few seconds for someone you know to drown. And as the countdown to summer keeps ticking onward, health experts say now is the time to address water safety issues with your loved ones before it's too late. Anita Vogel takes a look at what you can do to help prevent drowning accidents this summer season.
Memorial Day marks the unofficial start of summer, which means it's almost time to break out the grills and soak up the sun. But with temperatures starting to rise and more people planning trips to pools, lakes, and oceans, it's also the perfect time to talk about water safety, especially with young children.
Every day in the United States, 11 people drown. And within that group, ages 1 to 4, it's actually the leading cause of death for children.
And while not all drowning accidents result in death, survivors can be left with severe brain and nerve damage, which can result in permanent disabilities. William Ramos of Indiana University recommends parents enroll their kids in swim lessons as a good first line of defense.
Look for one that tries to get your child or attempts to get the child to a level that we call water competency. That's a point where we think people have enough skill to save themselves if they found themselves in trouble.
And says it's critical those lessons don't just teach kids how to swim, but also how to minimize their risks in the water.
By the time somebody has to use their swimming skills to save themselves, there may have been a series of missteps involving water safety along the way.
And even if you go to a facility with a lifeguard on duty, Ramos says parents should still be on high alert and constantly supervising their children. Providing young kids with properly fitting life jackets is also not a bad idea. Health leaders from nearly 100 countries are in Switzerland this week for the World Health Organization's 76th World Health Assembly. Much of the focus is on vaccines and cervical cancer. On Monday, the Director General said, quote, "Vaccines are bringing the dream of eliminating cervical cancer within reach," end quote. World health leaders say giving girls just one shot would provide enough protection against cervical cancer and other HPV conditions. WHO scientists say this single-dose approach could be a game changer for the prevention of cancer. Pet parents, this next story is just for you. Did you know that cats and dogs sometimes need CPR or the Heimlich maneuver just like people do? Stephanie Manchi has more information from the Kansas Humane Society class.
I stuck my finger in his mouth because he couldn't breathe, and there was a chunk of cat food lodged in his esophagus. And he bit me, and because that was just an instinct, and he died.
She's talking about her cat named Jax, who she says choked on large pieces of cat food. Joyce Eddington says if she had CPR training, that would have saved him. Registered veterinarian technician Amanda Hackerit says nowadays more people are wanting pet parent education.
Just like little kids, pets can get into all sorts of trouble, which unfortunately can lead to needing CPR.
Hackeritz says it's very important pet parents understand different emergencies, especially CPR.
Pets, again, just like humans, grow old and have different illnesses that can present with some kind of heart failure or, again, the need for some type of CPR-like intervention.
One pet parent of 5 also has a pet sitting business. She says having this knowledge is essential for her profession.
If I'm going to have the responsibility of being in people's homes and being with their pets, I wanted to know that I wanted to make sure that I know how to best handle an emergency situation.
Hackeritz says CPR for pets starts out just like CPR for us. You'll check specific areas on your pet's body to see if they are breathing or have a pulse. But administering CPR is slightly different.
We do what we call mouth to snout in terms of the respirations. And really, if you're by yourself and your pet needs CPR, we do say focus more on the compressions.
Hackeritz says if we can empower our pet parents to understand the complications and different emergencies, they can help their pets a lot quicker.
And that's a look at today's health stories. You're watching the KOAM Morning News. Now we're going to take a look at the radar. We do have a few scattered showers off towards our west, and you can see a little bit closer in view there in northwestern Oklahoma, scattered showers. I'll be back with a complete look at your forecast in just a little bit.
Right now at 5:30, firefighters from around southeast Kansas get some special training.
And we have a few showers on radar, mainly out towards the west, along I-35 in northwestern Oklahoma. And of course, we'll have a complete look at your forecast in just a little bit.
And the anniversary of the Joplin tornado was yesterday. KOAM's very own Yana Dula takes us to Joplin to talk to residents about their own experiences.
The 4 states' most watched news starts now.
Good morning and welcome to the KOAM Morning News. It's now almost 5:32.
That's right.
I'm Tanya Bach.
And I'm meteorologist Sam Lane, filling in for Chris, we decided to give him a little bit of time off. Just a little.
And I put you to work that first half hour.
That's right. That's all right. We have a few showers on radar this morning, and they're mainly out towards the west. We could see some of those sneak over into our part of the state later on this afternoon down in Oklahoma. But you know, the folks in northwestern Oklahoma, they have really needed the rainfall as well. So I don't think anyone's complaining out there in southwestern Kansas and northwest Oklahoma with the rain this morning, so that's good. And also good that there's no severe weather associated with that. All the nasty weather, as far as severe weather, has been down in Texas lately. We do have a big storm system across western Canada, and that's helping give relief to some of the fires that have been going on in the provinces of Canada, spilling smoke across northern parts of the United States and the New England states. We just have a few clouds associated with that complex across Texas this morning, and we're going to see those clouds this afternoon as well. The allergies have been bad, and they're going to still be bad today. 9.3, most of that grass, hickory, and mulberry. Tomorrow we're going to see a little bit of an improvement, and that's mainly because we're going to have some scattered showers and thunderstorms in the area, around 8.4 tomorrow. So this afternoon, if you're heading out and about, here's your forecast: a high of 80 degrees under mostly sunny skies, warm conditions. Temperatures around 77 at lunchtime, 79 at 2, 77 by 4 o'clock. Looking down the lane, we do have a sunny Tuesday on tap, and then some scattered thunderstorms for Wednesday, and then some isolated storms on Thursday. But the big question on everybody's mind is, what about the holiday weekend? Well, I have the answer to that coming up in just a little bit. Tanya?
All right, thanks, Sam. Monday marked 12 years since the devastating EF5 tornado hit the city of Joplin. KOAM's Yana Dula talked with residents around Mercy Park about their experiences and has more.
12 years ago, on May 22nd, the city of Joplin got hit by a tornado. Today, we are here at the Mercy Park, one of the locations that got hit, to discuss with residents about their experiences with the tornado.
We couldn't see it, but I could hear something. Finally, we started hearing it. So then we went and got in the closet. Things were breaking, shifting, everything was crazy. The kid that was in the closet was screaming. My girlfriend was holding the door shut because it was sucking, the air was sucking.
Nick Corey says at first it was a normal day at St. John's Park, with clouds looking like they were turned upside down, but it changed quickly.
I would say the most traumatic events was not being in it for us as much as after that. Trying to get to my house to get my loved ones, the trauma that I saw, how the houses were torn apart. It looked like a bomb went off.
Jackie Overstreet's son was graduating that day from the Joplin High School at Missouri Southern State University. They avoided the tornado by staying inside a restaurant, but after the tornado, they realized the high school was gone.
I was one of the parents in charge of project graduation, and we had parents calling, asking if we were still having project graduation, and then I realized the school was gone and there would be no celebration that night for our graduates.
Corey wants to give back to individuals coming to honor ones who were lost with a material that survived the tornado on his yard.
We bent, but we didn't break, the people of Joplin. And so the bamboo sways and bends, and it survived the tornado with me. So to me, it's you bend, but you don't break. So in the God's eye representing, God was watching out for us that day.
In Joplin, Yanna Haudala, KOAM News.
Some residents say before the tornado they may not have taken the sirens seriously, but now they do. Well, KOAM is teaming up with community partners to help make sure American flags are properly disposed of and get new ones in your hands. We are hosting a flag swap today from 11 until 2 at the Jake's Fireworks Building. That address is at 3002 North Broadway in Pittsburgh. All you have to do is bring your old tattered American flag to get a brand new American-made flag for free. American Legion is assisting us in properly retiring those traded-in flags, and this is the first flag swap we're hosting. You can find information about the others at KOAMnewsnow.com/flag. On Monday, some Southeast Kansas firefighters got some special training. Regional Rescue Team Task Force 4, which features firefighters from Pittsburgh, Parsons, Chanute, and Iola, trained on working in confined spaces. It's part of a monthly training regimen to get them ready for any situation.
Task Force 4, we respond to tornado strikes, building collapses. Grain engulfments is a big one in our area. And then even on the national level, we have sent people to Texas for flooding. We've sent people to Florida and North Carolina for hurricanes.
He says timing is also important in training so the crew can be on the same page when they arrive. The Neosho Arts Council and Crowder College are celebrating the restoration of the Rocketdyne mural. Mural painted in 1963 by Lawrence Sanchez is located inside the cafeteria of the Rocketdyne facility in Neosho. Rocketdyne, a manufacturer of rocket engines for NASA, played a crucial role in various space programs including Mercury, Gemini, and Apollo.
The thing that I think is really unique about the mural being here at Crowder College, it shows students who come in. This is our science building where it's housed, and so students who are looking at engineering, and we have some who are looking at aeronautical engineering, they can see what they can do from Crowder College.
Rocketdyne was responsible for developing the engines used in the Saturn V, which propelled Apollo astronauts to the moon. The mural is painted on panels and measures 6 feet by 33 feet. Well, some kids in Miami had the chance to get in touch more with the environment. The local Environmental Action Demanded, or LEAD agency, yesterday hosted a summer day camp for children and youth grades 1 through 12. It introduces young people to environmental issues through hands-on activities. Activities include some arts and outdoor exploration.
The importance of it, the real importance of it for everyone, because this is our home and we need to take care of it. We need to take better care of it. So that's what we're really encouraging and trying to nurture our young people along the way.
The camp continues today for grades K through 5. It'll continue again from the 24th through the 26th for 6th through 12th graders. On Monday, the Neosho Job Fair attracted a diverse range of employers and job seekers from the local community. Job seekers had the opportunity to engage with employers, submit resumes, and explore potential career opportunities. The Job Fair provided a platform for networking, showcasing the region's commitment to fostering employment opportunities.
We have members that are looking for employers all of the time, and it's just an easy way it's a one-stop shop for all of our members to be able to get into one room, and it's free to the community to come in and meet with employers and see what potential jobs are out there for them.
More than 18 companies participated in the event, representing various industries such as healthcare, manufacturing, and technology. This morning, we're discussing pucks and pups.
That's right. Hockey and dogs both underwent the same roof for the 5th annual Pucks for Paws. It's a roller hockey tournament to help spread love and raise funds for animals in need.
The shelter has a lot of dogs that need adopting out, such as one named Buster, who has a scar on the side of his face. The scar came from being hit by a bullet. Dogs like Buster are the reason this event is put on. They just want these animals to find a safe and loving home.
And of course, that brings us to our morning question. Have you adopted a pet recently? And I have, not too long ago.
Oh, what did you adopt?
It's a cat. His name is Rascal. And he is.
Right.
He is a rascal. But we asked the poll, and there's the results. 67% no, but look at that, 33% yes. So
there we go. And maybe that number will grow throughout the morning.
Maybe so.
All right. Thanks, Sam.
Uh-huh.
That's a look at our top news stories. Coming up this half hour in the KOAM Morning News, a man helps honor heroes who have passed away by cleaning their tombstones.
And plus, police in Portugal set up the search for Madeleine McCann once more, and we'll have the latest.
You're watching the KOAM Morning News. More real news in the morning. We'll be right back.
And it's time to...
Topping World Watch, severe weather is being blamed for the deaths of 6 people who were killed when strong winds from a rainstorm collapsed a metal roof onto a school in northern Thailand. The school's cleaning staff also lost their lives. The roof caved in on the school's activity center, where several students had gone seeking shelter from the rain. Officials say 18 people were hospitalized following the accident. Fire breaks out in a school dormitory in Guyana, killing at least 19 students and injuring several more. Guyanese government released a statement saying the fire broke out in the dormitory of a secondary school early Monday in the town of Mahdia, which is about 200 miles south of the capital, Georgetown. Originally, it was reported that 20 students had died. National Security Advisor Gerald Jovia says that number was revised after doctors revived a critically ill patient. The cause of the fire is currently unknown. Police in Portugal resumed their search for any traces of Madeleine McCann, who went missing in May of 2007 while on vacation with her family in the country. Vehicles and an investigation tent were spotted at the Ardade Reservoir, about 30 miles from Praia da Luz in the Algarve region, where McCann was last seen. The British toddler was only 3 years old when she disappeared from a holiday apartment. Her parents, Kate and Jerry McCann, marked what would have been their daughter's 20th birthday earlier this month, vowing to never give up the search for her. A spectacular sight in the sky. A meteor was captured on camera moving through the sky in North Queensland, Australia, and then exploding, lighting up the night sky and making a sonic boom. It's not known exactly where the meteor landed. Officials believe the meteor was about 3 feet in size and traveled over 93,000 miles per hour. That's a look at some of your biggest headlines from around the world. We'll be right back.
All right, welcome back to the KOAM Morning News, and it's starting to look pretty nice out there for your sunrise in Seneca, Missouri at Indigo Sky Casino and Resort. Mostly fair skies all night long and into the morning hours is what we're expecting. We almost made 80 yesterday. We topped out at 78 after starting out at 54, which was pretty close to the normals actually, of 79 and 58. Records 92 and 41. Unfortunately, we're starting to get behind again on the rainfall for the month as well as the year, where we're about 4.5 inches below normal. And unfortunately, that's making the drought expand into western Missouri now. Still exceptional in Chautauqua and Elk counties, but hopefully we're going to start chipping away at that over the next few days with the chances of showers and storms. This morning, though, the showers and storms are down in Texas. We just have a few clouds spilling over from that complex, a few showers in northwestern Oklahoma, and that's as close as they are getting at this point. Temperatures right now are not too bad, generally in the mid-50s out there, 52 in Fort Scott, 53 in Nevada, 57 in Miami, a little bit warmer in the Odyssey, where they're currently sitting at 60 degrees. Here in Joplin, we're sitting at 54 degrees, a calm wind. Dew point is 52, so the humidity's high. Might see a little bit of patchy fog out there as you're heading off to work. This afternoon, we're expecting mostly fair skies with temperatures warming into the upper 70s to around 80 degrees for your high. Lunchtime around 77, same thing at 4 o'clock. We're going to be under the ridge of high pressure today and through most of the week. We are going to see a wave move in from the east tomorrow, and that's going to increase our chances of showers and storms. And the severe weather, though, is going to be down in Texas again today in the Texas Panhandle. And then tomorrow, we're expecting the severe weather to shift a little bit more to the north into eastern Colorado, down through western Texas, so we don't have to worry about any severe weather with the thunderstorms that do develop tomorrow in our area. Rain chances are going to be low today, but increasing as we go through the day into the evening hours tomorrow. In fact, here's a look at the forecast on the rainfall amounts. Not really expecting a whole lot, generally around a tenth or two, maybe a third. Heavier amounts down to the south, maybe in Oklahoma and northwest Arkansas, where they may pick up an inch or half an inch or so. Temperatures this afternoon are going to be pretty pleasant, upper 70s to around 80 degrees with scattered showers, mainly towards the west. And then as we go into tonight, mostly fair skies with lows in the upper 50s to around 60. Then tomorrow, here comes that wave from the east, and so we'll see scattered showers and storms across the area in the afternoon. Then that wave moves away and we drop down into the 60s for your Thursday morning. Thursday afternoon, again, isolated storms possible, mainly out towards the west with highs near 80. And then as we go into Friday morning, a little bit on the cool side with lows in the mid to upper 50s with easterly winds. How about the next 7 days? Well, storms tomorrow and then 20% on Thursday, but then dry for most of the weekend, including Memorial Day, a chance of storms then. We'll be back with more right after this.
It's almost Memorial Day, and one man and some volunteers are making it special by helping to clean veterans' tombstones. Brett Brooks is in Peoria, Illinois, with more.
I went to go find his grave and I couldn't see it. I couldn't read it at all, nothing.
With the stroke of a brush, each of the hundreds of veteran tombstones are being cleaned like new. John Miller Ross started Honor Their Sacrifice on a search for his own grandfather's gravesite.
I did an ancestry DNA test and found out that I had a lot of family members that were actually buried right here in Springdale Cemetery, approximately 70.
Upon finishing that tombstone, he looked around at the rest, and suddenly it clicked.
And then when I cleaned it, I seen that how clean it was compared to the rest of the stones around here, and I wanted to do more. I wanted every veteran's stone to look the same as my grandfather's.
Realizing the huge task now ahead of him, he reached out to a local VFW for help.
And since then, we've done another 4,000 to get more chemicals, to get as many graves we can get done before Memorial Day.
On Sunday, he invited his friends, family members, and strangers who he just met to come out and volunteer to join in on the task. Strangers like Nicholas Greer and his mother, who were looking for a cleanup activity here in the cemetery themselves.
Oh, it's nice knowing that the families of the people that passed away in World War II get to see at least clean graves and can read who they were.
And yet there are still hundreds of tombstones left to clean up in just this part of the cemetery. But John says it's with the volunteers' help on Sunday that they are now closer to his initial end goal.
So I've done personally 142. Total with the volunteers we've done probably around 320. And we have approximately 1,600 to 1,700 left.
That's some amazing work. I know there's a lot of cemeteries that could use that service as well. We'll be right back. An electric guitar once owned by the late Nirvana frontman Kurt Cobain has sold for almost $600,000. The Hard Rock Cafe in New York City auctioned off the black left-handed Fender Stratocaster over the weekend, along with other pieces of rock history. Cobain had smashed up and signed the guitar. Instrument had been reassembled but is not playable. It went for $595,000. That's almost 10 times its estimated value. Nirvana's popularity soared with its second album, Nevermind, which was released at the end of 1991. The World Turtle Day celebration is today. Nonprofit American Tortoise Rescue sponsors it each year to raise awareness about the animals. It says organizations around the world put on fundraisers and educational events each May 23rd. People at home can get involved by posting selfies on social media. This year's theme is I Love Turtles. According to the rescue, about 60% of the world's turtles are threatened or extinct.
I have to tell the wife about that. She's a lover of turtles, so that'll be interesting. All right, let's take a look at the forecast. We're expecting temperatures in the upper 70s to around 80 degrees today. Isolated storms are possible mainly out towards the west and mainly down in Oklahoma as well. We're going to have to wait till tomorrow before the rain chances really start to increase across a large part of the area. Then tonight we're going to be seeing lows in the 50s and 60s with easterly winds. Then tomorrow, notice we have a trough of low pressure moving in from the east towards the west with scattered showers and storms in the afternoon, highs around 80. Then as we go through tomorrow night, we're going to see lows generally right around 60 degrees. And then as we go into Thursday afternoon, isolated storms again, mainly out towards the west, highs in the upper 70s to around 80 degrees. And then Friday morning, lows in the 50s and 60s. Over the weekend, it's looking pretty nice for the holiday weekend. Maybe a storm on Memorial Day. We'll have more when we come back.
Right now at 6, the city of Joplin looks back on 12 years since a massive tornado left its mark on the community.
And we have some showers on the radar, but they're way out to the west. I'll let you know about the forecast.
And the Neosho Arts Council and Crowder College celebrated historic makeover for a historic mural.
The 4 states' most watched news starts now.
Good morning and welcome to the KOAM Morning News. I'm Tanya Bach. It is 6 o'clock.
That's right. And I'm meteorologist Sam Lane filling in for Chris Warner, who's taking some time off this week.
Yeah.
Good for him.
It's he and his wife's anniversary today.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Well, happy anniversary to them. Yeah. We have some showers on the radar, but they're way out towards the west. I wish we had more showers to talk about in our forecast, but there are some in the forecast. Of course, you know, it's the holiday weekend, so we got to talk about that a little bit. Right now, nothing going on in the immediate area, but out towards the west along I-35, west of Wichita, a few scattered showers and sprinkles there, and maybe an embedded thunderstorm or two near Woodward. But of course, northwestern Oklahoma and southwest Kansas has been needing the rain for quite some time, so they are definitely enjoying the rain and the showers this morning, helping put an end, or a dent at least, in the drought situation. We have a complex of storms across Texas that's starting to weaken. We just have a few clouds from that. We're also watching a powerful storm system in the Canadian provinces, which is helping out with the smoke and the fires up there. But we're going to see increasing chances of showers in our forecast as we head towards tomorrow. But today, the allergies 9.3 on a scale of 12, and tomorrow a little bit better, 8.4, and most of that is grasses, hickory, and mulberry. Your forecast for today looks like this: mostly fair skies, a few puffy cumulus clouds out there, high of around 80 degrees under mostly warm conditions. And then as we go down the lane, we're going to be looking at scattered showers and storms coming back into our forecast on Wednesday, isolated storms on Thursday. But the big question on everyone's mind is, what about the holiday weekend? Well, I'll have the answer to that coming up in just a little bit.
All right, thanks, Sam. Yesterday marked 12 years since the devastating EF5 tornado hit the city of Joplin. KOAM's Yana Dula talked with residents around Mercy Park about their experiences. 12 years ago, on May 22nd, the city of Joplin was hit by a tornado. One of the areas that was hit, the St. John's Regional Medical Center. Nowadays, it serves as Mercy Park for residents to walk at and to come and honor the ones who have been lost. Local residents still remember the disaster the tornado caused.
You could feel the pressure from that tornado of just, you know, kind of blowing in and out. It's like a vacuum. And so we knew that, you know, we was in the midst of it. And when it was all said and done, we lucked out, and our house wasn't totally destroyed, but it was badly damaged.
Some residents say before the tornado, they may not have taken the siren seriously, but now they do. Authorities in northeast Oklahoma investigate a body found in Buffalo Creek. Early Sunday morning, civilians found the body of a woman in her 30s in Buffalo Creek, near where it enters the Elk River. She was found in about 6 to 8 feet of water. GRDA officers recovered her body and turned it over to the medical examiner's office for processing. And a hostage situation in Delaware County, Oklahoma ends with a man dead, apparently from a self-inflicted gunshot. Delaware County authorities say they received a call around 12:30 Monday morning about a man with a gun inside the home of his estranged wife, north of Grove in the Red Rocks area. Authorities say the residents in the home had a protective order against 55-year-old Gary Combs. Oklahoma Highway Patrol arrived to assist in negotiations. They say they heard a gunshot. Shortly after 8, authorities used tear gas and an armed vehicle to get inside. They say they found Combs dead with a single gunshot wound. Other people in the home made it out safely. A White House meeting ended yesterday without an agreement to raise the nation's borrowing limit. It came as Treasury Secretary Janet Yellen sent a letter to Congress with another stark warning that the U.S. could default as early as June 1st. Economists warn the consequences of default would be catastrophic and may even trigger a recession. Jared Hill has the latest on where the negotiations stand.
President Biden and House Speaker Kevin McCarthy sounded optimistic after yet another face-to-face meeting on raising the nation's debt limit. But there is still no deal.
We both agreed default's not really on the table.
I thought it was more productive than the other meetings we've had, but we still have differences.
Republicans have demanded deep spending cuts in exchange for raising the debt ceiling. Sources tell CBS News the White House has offered to keep spending flat from this year to the next. They say Republicans want to increase defense spending while cutting everything else up to 22%.
We're not going to raise the debt ceiling without making a difference for the fiscal future of the country.
What the Republicans are asking for at this point is extreme, outrageous, unworkable.
Concerns over the impasse have moved beyond Washington from Wall Street.
This debt ceiling debate is bringing and leading uncertainty in the market
to Main Street.
I don't like living like this with the government fighting around and playing games.
The president and the speaker say they want a deal both parties can support in Congress, but the time to get it done is quickly running out. Jared Hill, CBS News.
Following the meeting between the president and House Speaker McCarthy, White House negotiators returned to Capitol Hill for brief talks yesterday evening. To be the first to see breaking news, weather, and sports, you can download the KOAM News app. It's available free of charge in the Apple App Store and the Google Play Store. Just search for the KOAM News app. Neosho Arts Council and Crowder College celebrate the restoration of the Rocketdyne mural. Mural painted in 1963 by Lawrence Sanchez is located inside the cafeteria of the Rocketdyne facility in Neosho. Rocketdyne, a manufacturer of rocket engines for NASA, played a crucial role in various space programs including Mercury, Gemini, and Apollo.
The thing that I think is really unique about the mural being here at Crowder College, it shows students who come in. This is our science building where it's housed, and so students who are looking at engineering, and we have some who are looking at aeronautical engineering, they can see what they can do from Crowder College.
Rocketdyne was responsible for developing the engines used in the Saturn V, which propelled Apollo astronauts to the moon. Mural is painted on panels and measures 6 feet by 33 feet. That's a look at this morning's top stories and weather in our first 7 minutes. Coming up on the KOAM Morning News. The head of one of America's biggest civil rights groups issues a warning for travelers who may be headed to Florida. Plus, millions of women go through menopause every year, and one of the symptoms can be weight gain. We've got advice from the experts on how to combat the unwanted pounds during this time of life. And meteorologist Sam Lane returns with another look at your forecast and whether the 4 states can expect another round of rain before the weekend. You're watching the KOAM Morning News. More real news in the morning. We'll be right back. Topping Nation Watch this morning, the Secret Service is investigating after a U-Haul crashed into Lafayette Square across the street from the White House. The incident happened around 10 p.m. Monday night. Investigators apparently found a Nazi flag with belongings inside the truck, but no other information was provided. And federal prosecutors have issued subpoenas to the Trump Organization regarding its business deals in foreign countries. According to the New York Times, investigators are seeking information about real estate deals in China, France, Turkey, Saudi Arabia, Kuwait, the UAE, and Oman. The time period covers the years former President Donald Trump was in the White House. One source says prosecutors are zeroing in on business dealings with countries that might have been interested in the classified materials found at Mar-a-Lago. A Missouri man is dead after his tractor trailer collides with a train on Sunday. State police say the 65-year-old failed to stop at a railroad crossing despite a crossbar, bell, and warning light. 45-year-old train driver is unhurt despite the derailment of several cars. And a surprising move from a major national civil rights group, the NAACP, on Monday issued a travel advisory for the state of Florida. Organization says under Governor Ron DeSantis, the Sunshine State has become, quote, openly hostile towards African Americans, people of color, and LGBTQ plus individuals. Mark Strassman reports this comes as DeSantis is set to announce his bid for the White House.
Florida is starting to feel uncomfortably warm. It's weather, it's politics. The NAACP is broiling. It's targeting the state's $100 billion tourism industry with a travel warning.
Are you telling Black Americans in other states to stay out of Florida?
We're telling travelers beware that you have a state and a state policy landscape that can be harmful to your existence.
In his conservative crackdown here, Governor Ron DeSantis has stirred both content and contempt, blocking a high school AP course in African American studies. Also in schools, bans on teaching gender identity, sexual identity, and critical race theory, and a ban on abortion after 6 weeks.
We do not ever surrender to the woke mob because we've made the state of Florida the place where woke goes to die.
DeSantis points out a record 137 million people visited Florida last year, up nearly 13% over 2021. His spokesperson calls the NAACP's travel advisory a stunt. But among the backlash here, Disney, Florida's largest private employer, just canceled a $1 billion development project. Latino and LGBTQ groups have issued their own travel warnings.
Politics being politics is fine, but it impacts lives.
Heather Wilkie leads Zebra Youth, an outreach group for young LGBTQ people.
It may take years for us to unwind the damage that has been done here in Florida.
The fear factor is real.
100%.
For DeSantis, a presidential announcement seems imminent. His supporters and his critics say the same thing about him. If you want to know what he might do as president, look at what he's done as governor. Well, it's been several years in the making, but the USS Iowa battleship's gun barrel is in Portsmouth, Virginia. In Virginia Beach. I'm sorry, my prompter messed up on me here. Is moving from Portsmouth to Cape Henry in Virginia Beach. There we go. The 110-ton barrel moved on a special heavy-duty trailer through the streets and highways of Portsmouth to Virginia Beach. There we go. It's the last of 9 restored USS Iowa battleship gun barrels to be displayed permanently. Some found homes in places like Arizona, Delaware, and New Jersey. And one is displayed in Norfolk. 2 projectiles will be displayed as well. That's a look at some of today's top national stories. Here's Sam with a look at your forecast.
All right, we're looking at Indigo Sky Casino and Resort this morning. Mostly fair skies, and is that going to continue through the weekend? Well, that's the big question, and I'll have the answer on that when we come back. All right, welcome back to the KOAM Morning News, and it's a beautiful morning so far down in Seneca, Missouri, the Indigo Sky Casino and Resort, and really across the entire area. Mostly fair skies are going to be with us through the afternoon. You can see a few clouds up there, but nothing really to get in the way of that sunshine. Yesterday, we made it up to 78 after starting out at 54, which are actually pretty close to the normals of 79 and 58. The record's 92 and 41. But look at the rainfall. We're about half an inch below on the month so far and about 4.5 inches below for the year Hopefully we're going to make up for that because we've been dealing with the drought situation across southeastern Kansas for months and months, and now it's starting to expand back into western Missouri, which is not what we like to see. And we're going to see those showers and thunderstorms move back into our forecast, so hopefully we'll chip away a little bit at that drought situation. Right now we just have a few high clouds across Oklahoma spilling over into our area. More clouds down across Texas associated with a complex of storms moving across the Lone Star State. Temperatures this morning are pretty nice. 52 in Fort Scott. You could call that chilly for late May. 53 in Nevada, 54 in Lamar, 57 in Neodesha, 58 down in Nowata with easterly winds. And in Joplin, we're looking at a temperature of 55, double nickel, and it feels like 55, dew point's 52, the humidity at 89%. The visibility is starting to come up just a little bit. We're looking for mostly fair skies this afternoon, just a few puffy cumulus clouds out there, a high of 80 degrees with warm conditions. That will continue through most of the afternoon and evening hours. We're under a ridge of high pressure, and that's basically sitting over the central United States, and that's keeping things dry, wet on the west coast and also on the east coast. But we are going to start to see some showers move back into our forecast, especially for tomorrow. Storms are going to fire again today, severe ones in the Texas Panhandle, and then tomorrow we're going to see that severe threat expand a little bit up into eastern Colorado and down across eastern New Mexico and the Texas Panhandle area. No severe weather expected in our area. Rain chances are going to be low today, but then as we go through the day tomorrow, notice storms start to move back in and rain chances as a result start to go up. Some of the storms could put down around half an inch of rain in some localized spots. Most areas are going to see maybe around a quarter to a third of an inch of rain. Not a lot, but we'll take whatever we can get. Temperatures this afternoon are going to be in the upper 70s to around 80 degrees. Then as we go through tonight, mostly fair skies with lows in the 50s and 60s. And then tomorrow, we have that wave moving in from the east, and that's when we're going to see the scattered showers and storms move across our area. That moves off towards the west, and we're left with lows in the 60s for Thursday. And then as we head into Friday, or Thursday afternoon, we'll see more scattered storms, especially out towards the west. And then as we go into Friday morning, lows generally in the 50s and 60s across the area. How about the next 7 days? Well, I know everyone's looking at the weekend. Storms tomorrow, and then Thursday, a 20% chance of storms, but dry as we head into Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. And then, of course, Memorial Day, we have to throw a chance of a thunderstorm in there with a high of around 82 degrees. We'll have more when we come back.
Topping Health Watch this morning, teenage girls were the most vulnerable to increased mental health diagnoses during the pandemic. That's according to a study in JAMA Network. It found the most pronounced effect in that group was an uptick in eating disorders, more than double than before the pandemic. Heart failure diagnosis is missed more often than it's made, especially in women. That's according to research out of the University of Glasgow, which examined around 1 million health records from adults in Scotland. The findings suggest the majority of patients with heart failure die without ever having been diagnosed. Catching signs and symptoms earlier could lead to more effective treatment. And greasing the palms? Well, not if you're prone to guilt. Chinese researchers found people inclined to feel guilt were less likely to take a bribe, especially if it would cause obvious harm to others. More than 1 million women go through menopause every year in the U.S., and it comes with a whole host of symptoms, and the hormonal changes can lead some women to put on weight. Mandy Gaither has more on how to fight unwanted weight gain during this time of life.
From sleep problems to night sweats and hot flashes, menopause brings a whole host of symptoms. It begins 12 months after a woman's final menstrual cycle, and some women may also notice the number on the scale inching upward.
Women gain about 1.5 pounds per year during midlife.
Dr. Juliana Kling with Mayo Clinic says research shows weight gain can have more to do with aging than menopause, but says menopausal symptoms don't help. A common complaint is poor sleep, and that can lead to poor lifestyle decisions that can pack on the pounds.
When we think about weight gain, it's really looking at the whole picture, making sure that we're addressing those menopause symptoms.
Kling says hormone replacement therapy can relieve symptoms for some, but do come with side effects. Moving more can also help. If you're new to exercise, she says to start with 10 minutes of physical activity a day and gradually increase it. Kling says you may also need to consume around 200 fewer calories a day when you reach your 50s and 60s. She says focus on eating foods like fresh veggies, whole grains, nuts, and legumes.
Unfortunately, there's not a magic fix, but the thing that we see that's most helpful is calorie restrictions. So cutting back.
FDA has also recently approved a treatment for menopausal hot flashes. It blocks receptors in the brain that play a role in the regulation of body temperature and is an alternative to traditional hormone replacement therapies. That's a look at some of today's top health stories. You're watching the KOAM Morning News.
We have a few showers on radar, mainly out towards the west, but the big question is, what about the holiday weekend? Well, I'll have the forecast when we come back. We have a few showers on radar, mainly out towards the west. We'll have the details on the forecast.
Some Joplin residents take offense to the posting of a sign that they feel does not represent them.
The 4 states' most watched news starts now.
Good morning and welcome to the KOAM Morning News. It's now 6:28. I'm Tanya Bach.
And I'm meteorologist Sam Lane, filling in for the vacationing Chris Warner. So he's getting a few days off, and it looks like it's going to be pretty nice weather for the most part for his time off.
Well, good for him.
We planned it that way. That's the way we do it. We have some scattered showers on radar, mainly out towards the west along I-35 south of Wichita and north of Oklahoma City near Ponca City this morning, but nothing really going on in our area, but that's going to be changing over the next 24 to 36 hours. This is all part of an upper level low that's kind of spinning over northwestern Oklahoma this morning, but they need the rain too. It's been a drought situation in southwest Kansas and northwest Oklahoma, so they're not complaining about the rain this morning, and even if it rained all weekend, I don't think they would complain down there either. We're looking at a big storm system across the northern plains up into the western provinces of Canada, but that's good news too because there's been a lot of fires up there, so they're getting some rainfall from that. That will help with the smoke situation. We also have some storms across Texas this afternoon, and again this evening we're going to see more storms out in the Texas Panhandle. That's where the threat of severe weather is going to be, but not in our area. Instead, we're going to be dealing with allergies today, 9.3, and then tomorrow a little bit better, 8.4, and that's because we are expecting some scattered showers in the area. Most of that is grasses, hickory, and mulberry pollens. This afternoon, we're going to see partly cloudy skies with some puffy cumulus clouds out there, around 77 at lunchtime and topping out at about 80 degrees, which is pretty close to the normals, and 77 by 4 o'clock. Looking down the lane, we are going to have mostly fair skies today, but then scattered storms across the area for tomorrow, and that will continue into Thursday on an isolated basis. But what about the holiday weekend? Well, I have the complete details on the forecast on that coming up in just a little while. Tanya?
All right, thanks, Sam. First responders rush a 19-year-old female driver to an area hospital following a car crash. Authorities responded to reports of a single vehicle crash near the Joplin Regional Airport across Missouri 171. On scene, they learned a Jeep Patriot was traveling west on 171, left the roadway to the left and crossed all lanes of traffic. The vehicle then went through 2 fences and crashed head-on into a large tree. The 19-year-old female driver was transported priority 1 to an area hospital. This is a developing story, and we'll have more details as they become available on our website at KOAMnewsnow.com. The Garden of Memories Cemetery north of Pittsburgh discovered several bronze vases stolen from headstones over the weekend. This isn't the first time vases have been stolen, as officials say vases were stolen last year on the 4th of July weekend and in October. Not only does this affect the cemetery, but the cost to replace the vases is $300, and it's up to the family of the headstone to replace it.
They're pretty expensive, and unfortunately it is upon the family. I make every effort that I can to help that family and to come up with some solution to replace their vases so they can put their flowers in there respectfully.
Total of 200 vases were stolen. Some Joplin residents are protesting a sign they say conflicts with their reality. KOAM's Amber Jenkins has details.
There are only 2 genders, and they also said, take back the rainbow. For me, that's a problem.
2 signs were posted at the intersection of East Zor Street and St. Louis Avenue in Joplin saying that there's only 2 genders and take back the rainbow. McKenna Pulsifer organized a protest near the sign to combat what she calls is bigotry.
So I saw the post Saturday morning around 8 a.m. I was up here by 9. I had made a sign that said, only cowards hide behind signs, because I feel like if you're going to do something like this, you should own it. Own your bigotry.
Seeing the sign upsets Pulsifer, who's the president of a local inclusivity group that hosts gatherings for people in the LGBTQ plus community and other marginalized groups.
I stood out here with my rainbow flag and my sign. All day I had a couple of people join me on their own. The owner did show up. We did speak.
And you say that you're holy and that you are a Christian? That is not Christian talk. That is not accepting.
When I came this morning, the sign had changed.
The owner of the sign, Sid Davis, says he wants to share his truth. Now he changed the sign from there's only 2 genders to promote a March for Jesus event that's happening in the community this weekend.
At no time have I ever said there was anything wrong with anybody who believes something different. So therefore, there's nothing wrong with me or anybody that agrees with what the Bible says.
Davis says everyone has a right to their opinion. He believes he's not hurting anyone by spreading his truth, and he's not planning to change.
Other than they don't feel that I'm nice. And I've never said or done anything overtly, indirectly, implied, nothing.
This situation is not discouraging to Davis. In fact, he's planning to add a crucifix along with the signs.
I've got a deal here. I'm working on a cross, and I'm going to raise up a cross so it can be seen from 2 directions.
Reporting in Joplin, Amber Jenkins, KOAM News.
McKenna Pulsifer says she's working on getting her own sign to post saying, "We love you and accept you for who you are." Well, KOAM is teaming up with community partners to help make sure American flags are properly disposed of and get new ones into your hands. And we're hosting a flag swap today from 11 until 2 at the Jake's Fireworks building. That address is 3002 North Broadway in Pittsburgh. All you have to do is bring your old, tattered American flag to get a brand new American-made flag for free. The American Legion is assisting us in properly retiring those traded-in flags. This is the first flag swap we are hosting. You can find information about others, KOAMnewsnow.com/flag. On Monday, parents and children got together at the Boys and Girls Club of Ottawa County, Oklahoma, to see what the organization's summer programming has to offer. Throughout the summer, the Boys and Girls Club will host kids on a variety of trips. The summer program also connects local youth with mentors.
The summer program serves about 250 kids every summer. We do lots of fun things. We go on field trips, we swim twice a week, and we serve breakfast, lunch, and afternoon snack every day. So just about keeping kids busy, making sure they're having a fun summer and they can make some friendships, do fun things.
Previous trips included visits to local zoos, skating rinks, and trampoline parks. Some kids in Miami had the chance to get more in touch with the environment. On Monday, the local Environmental Action demanded, our lead agency hosted a summer day camp for children and youth grades 1 through 12 and introduces young people to environmental issues through hands-on activities. Activities included some arts and outdoor exploration.
It's very important to raise young people that have awareness and also an understanding of what they can do. What can they do to protect the environment that we all live in? What can they do? And that's what we're going to put them on track to know.
The camp continues today for grades K through 5. It'll continue again from the 24th through the 26th for 6th through 12th graders. Let's look at our top news stories coming up this half hour on the KOAM Morning News. Summer travel season heats up.
The summer travel season is almost here. I'm Wendy Gillette in Scottsdale, Arizona with some emerging trends.
And we're going to see temperatures ticking up just a little bit as also we're going to see some storm chances. And we're also going to talk about the holiday weekend forecast when we come back.
Yourself the restful, rejuvenating sleep you need to be your best self this summer. Only at Ashley.
And Consumer Watch this morning, the Federal Reserve has released its annual economic well-being of U.S. households report. The results show the toll inflation has inflicted on Americans. 73% of respondents said they're doing financially okay, down 5 points from 2021, while 35% of Americans said they're worse off, the highest level since 2014. There was a slight increase in the number of respondents who said their salaries went up in the past year, but only 63% of Americans say they have enough money to cover a $400 emergency expense. That's down from 68% in 2021. Western states have reached a historic deal to save the drought-stricken Colorado River. California, Arizona, and Nevada have agreed to cut back on river water use by 13% over the next 3 years to keep the nearly 1,500-mile-long lifeline of the Southwest from running dry. In return, they'll receive more than $1 billion in federal funding. The cash-sharing app Venmo is now officially allowing 13 to 17-year-olds to open an account with their parents' permission. It also comes with a debit card. Before the change in policy, many parents had set up accounts for their children through their own accounts, a violation in Venmo's rules. Nearly 500,000 waffle makers from Empower Brands have been recalled due to a burn hazard. The U.S. Consumer Product Safety Commission warned Thursday hot pieces of waffle can shoot out from the waffle maker during use. The company has received nearly 50 reports of the products posing a burn risk, including dozens of burn injuries and 3 people requiring medical attention. The affected products are the Power XL stuffed waffleizer models, ESWM02 and ESWM03. I have one similar to that. Hope it's not one of those. Just like last year, summer travel is expected to be busy and expensive. Experts say international trips will be big now that more countries have opened their borders after the pandemic. Wendy Gillette reports on what's trending.
Jay and Colleen Kim from Falls Church, Virginia, and their son Logan recently stayed at the new Waldorf Astoria in Cancun, Mexico. Expedia ranks the city the #1 international destination this summer, followed by London and Rome.
It's a good place to travel so that we're not spending a lot of money trying to get here, and we can actually spend the money here to have fun.
The upscale Waldorf features patios with soaking tubs overlooking the ocean, 2 enormous pools, and decadent desserts.
Whenever we enter a new region, a new country, we want to build and create a Waldorf Astoria for Cancun versus a Waldorf Astoria just in Cancun.
Expedia forecasts this summer's top domestic destinations will be New York, Los Angeles, and Seattle. Travel expert Christy Hudson says flight searches for far-flung countries are also surging.
Seems like a lot of people were still waiting to take those big bucket list trips, and now this is the summer that they're ready to do it.
If you're looking to save this summer, consider areas most people wouldn't this time of the year, like Scottsdale, Arizona. As temperatures rise, hotel prices drop, including here at the Four Seasons.
The 5-star resort, filled with desert landscaping next to Pinnacle Peak, offers casita rooms with telescopes and plunge pools in some. Summer rates start at $365.
Seasonality and our ability to offer luxury at a very affordable rate is one of the beauties of this market, and it allows people to just take a little moment to detox from life.
We stayed at these hotels for special rates, and some are offering travelers unique activities, like this performance from the dance group Bandaloop on the side of the newly renovated Fairmont Century Plaza in Los Angeles.
Today's discerning traveler wants experiences, and they want to create memories that will last a lifetime.
To start creating summer memories, Expedia says it's best to book now for international trips and 60 days out for domestic destinations. Wendy Gillette, CBS News.
That's it for Consumer Watch. Here's Sam with another look at your forecast.
Where you might run into a few sprinkles off towards the west around Wichita this morning and I-35. There are some showers in northwestern Oklahoma and southwestern Kansas this morning. That's mainly going to stay towards the south in Oklahoma. We're not really expecting a whole lot of stormy activity in our area today. Might see an isolated storm or two, but we're waiting for a piece of energy to rotate in from the east as an upper level low kind of parks itself over the southeastern United States. This afternoon, we're going to see more thunderstorms flare up across the Texas Panhandle. We're also going to be dealing with allergies today, 9.3 out of 12. Grasses, hickory, and mulberry making up most of that. Tomorrow, 8.4, so a little bit of an improvement there. This afternoon, we're going to see mostly fair skies with temperatures in the upper 70s to around 80 degrees for our high. And around lunchtime, 77 degrees, same thing at 4 o'clock. And looking down the lane, we are going to see sunny conditions today, but then as we go through tomorrow, we're going to see some scattered thunderstorms moving in from the east. And then on Thursday, they'll become more isolated, mainly off in the western sections. And then as we head towards the weekend, of course, Memorial Day weekend, a lot of outdoor plans in store for the area. And what's the forecast look like? Well, we'll have the answer to that coming back with weather in just a little bit. We made it past Monday, and that sounds like the perfect reason to celebrate birthdays and anniversaries. They're coming up right after the break, but first let's see what's happening on CBS Mornings.
I'm Nate Burleson. Coming up on CBS Mornings, Gail talks with comedian Sebastian Maniscalco, his father Salvatore, and Robert De Niro about the new movie About My Father. That's coming up on CBS Mornings.
Good.
All right, it's time to kick off our birthdays for May the 23rd. We're going to start with Corey Ann Riddenauer with love from Mamo and Pop Pop and your family, turning 1-year-old this year in Pittsburgh.
And Kason Pitts in Pittsburgh is turning 8 years old today. Happy birthday to you, Kason.
Remember when he was born. Swayze Hines is 8 years old in Anderson, Missouri. Happy birthday from Mimi and Papa.
And Izzy C2, 12 years old from Webb City, Missouri.
Look at all those blues. I like that. And Brody Royer turning 13 years old. What a catch there, Brody, in Oswego.
And Braxton Irish, 17 years old today in St. Paul, Kansas.
Allison Volz in Parsons turning 31 years old with love from your family.
Lacey Skaggs, 44 years old in Seneca, Missouri. Love you from Aspen, Tyler, Olivia, Avery, Amory, and Mom.
All right. And Eric Blundell celebrating the big 5-0 in Oswego, Kansas. Happy birthday from your wife and daughter. They love you.
Nancy Thornton in Thayer, Kansas, turning 68 today, and she's holding her great-granddaughter, Sailor, in that picture.
Aww.
Cute little baby there.
All right, Cody and Rachel Brannon are celebrating an anniversary in Columbus. Congrats to the Brannons.
And of course, Chris and Amber Warner celebrating their 8th anniversary in Joplin.
Aww.
Happy anniversary to you, Chris and Amber.
Hope he's enjoying some time off, some much needed time off to spend with his lovely wife. We thank you for putting up with him.
I won't tell.
All right, James and Tiffany Hutto are celebrating 14 years of wedded bliss. They're in Columbus.
And Bob and Sally Skaggs are celebrating their 26th anniversary from Columbus.
Galen and Rhonda Zook, another one of our KOAM family members. Rhonda, we love you. Galen and Rhonda have been married now for 41 years. Wow. That is awesome. They're in Columbus.
And Rick and Laura Atkinson of Columbus celebrating their 42nd anniversary. So congratulations to you.
I got a couple more anniversaries.
Oh,
we'll go ahead and mention them. Dallas and Donna McCoy, 50 years together.
The golden anniversary.
They're in Erie, Kansas.
And Walt and Heather York, 8th anniversary, and they're from down the road here in Crestline.
All right, if you've got an anniversary or a birthday, you can send them to us at our email address, birthdays@KOAMnewsnow.com.
And of course, when you do that, you can be a part of the KOAM Birthday Club by going to our website and signing up. You can get all kinds of special deals from local businesses. So go to KOAMnewsnow.com and sign up for the KOAM Birthday Club, and be sure to do it today. And we have beautiful skies out there this morning to celebrate your birthday or anniversary in Seneca, Missouri, at Indigo Sky Casino and Resort. We just have a few high clouds out there. We have a few showers on radar too, but they're way out towards the west. Really not going to be worrying about showers and storms today, but we will see the chances increase over the next couple of days. Yesterday we started out at 54, topped out at 78 degrees, which was not too far from the normals of 79 and 58. What's not normal is the rainfall. We're about half an inch below on the month and about 4.5 for the year so far. And of course, that's making the drought situation worse. It's already been bad across southeastern Kansas. Now the dryness is starting to move back into western Missouri. So we need some more rainfall to catch up a little bit. Rain today is going to be down across Texas, especially in the Texas Panhandle and across northwestern Oklahoma this morning. Temperatures are generally in the 50s everywhere, 51 in Nevada. That's kind of cool. 54 in Stockton, 55 in Anderson, Grove, and in Jay, 58 in Nowata. Right now in Joplin, we're 55 degrees and 89% on the humidity with a wind about 4 miles per hour. This afternoon, we're going to see partly cloudy skies with temperatures warming into the upper 70s to lower 80s, around 80 here in Joplin, so we'll call it a warm day. And we're going to be looking at a ridge of high pressure in control across our area for at least another day or so. Then some showers are going to start to move in with the wave coming in from the east. And the severe weather, goodness, is going to be down across Texas. Not really having to worry about that here. And then tomorrow, the severe weather threat is going to be again out towards our west and eastern Colorado and the high plains of the Texas Panhandle. So not really concerned about severe weather. We're going to see the rain chances low today and then dramatically increase as we head through the afternoon hours tomorrow. Rain is going to be generally on the light side, maybe a quarter to half an inch in some isolated spots. But most areas are not going to receive a whole lot of precipitation. Instead, we're going to see mostly fair skies today with temperatures in the upper 70s to around 80 degrees. We'll have more when we come back, so you want to stay tuned when the KOAM Morning News switches over to Fox 14. We got a story about retirement and 55 years in the making. We'll have more when we come back.
Here's a check of today's top headlines, the news you need to know before you head out the door. Authorities in northeast Oklahoma investigate a body found in Buffalo Creek. Early Sunday morning, civilians found the body of a woman in her mid-30s in Buffalo Creek, near where it enters the Elk River. She was found in about 6 to 8 feet of water. GRDA officers recovered her body and turned it over to the medical examiner's office for processing. The Garden of Memories Cemetery north of Pittsburgh discovered several bronze vases stolen from headstones over the weekend. This is not the first time vases have been stolen, as officials say vases were stolen last year on the 4th of July weekend and in October. Not only does this affect the cemetery, but the cost to replace the vases is $300, and it's up to the family of the headstone to replace it. A total of 200 vases were stolen. On Monday, some Southeast Kansas firefighters got some special training. Regional Rescue Team Task Force 4, which features firefighters from Pittsburgh, Parsons, Chanute, and Iola, trained on working in confined spaces. It's part of a monthly training regimen to get them ready for any situation. On Monday, the Neosho Job Fair attracted a diverse range of employers and job seekers from the local community. Job seekers have the opportunity to engage with employers, submit resumes, and explore potential career opportunities. Job Fair provided a platform for networking, showcasing the region's commitment to fostering employment opportunities. That's a check of today's top headlines, the news you need to know before you head out the door.
And if you're heading out the door today, we're going to be seeing mostly fair skies with a high of around 80 degrees. Thunderstorms come into our forecast tomorrow, and then slighter chances on Thursday, and then dry for the most part on Friday, Saturday, and Sunday for the holiday weekend. But then, of course, Tanya, for Memorial Day, you have to throw in a chance of a thunderstorm, a 30% chance of storms, better chance of storms, I think, on Tuesday, and then, of course, drier after that. But it's getting warmer. Look at that, 86 by next Wednesday.
All right. Well, coming up today at noon, we're making easy, cheesy cherry Danish in the Mr. Food Test Kitchen. It looks good, too.
That's right. Your morning news continues on KOAM with CBS Mornings. New concern about the virus once known as monkeypox and why experts are warning about a possible summer surge and why even those who are vaccinated still could be at risk. That's next on CBS Mornings.
Or you can switch on over with us on Fox 14, where your only local morning news continues. And this morning, the SEK Humane Society steps by to tell us all about some upcoming events, including an adoption event with PetSense.
Plus, we've got more interviews, including one with Chris Hicks from Mommy and Me to tell us all about a summer program that's perfect summer fun for mommies and their little ones. But that's going to wrap it up for now.
All right. We'll see you back here tomorrow morning and today at noon.